What I'd like to do today is to show you how to make troughs like the ones behind me. Before we get into that, let's start off with some safety equipment that I really recommend. Eye protection. And wear these because if the Portland cement gets in your eyes, the moisture in your eyes will react to that and it will really hurt. And then a dust mask. Always wear that when mixing the stuff when it's dry, because you don't want to breathe in the cement, nor do you want to breathe in the peat moss or the perlite. So with that said, let's get started here. What we have in here right now is 1.5 parts of Portland cement that I've added to the container. I already measured it out. 1 part of peat moss, and kind of sift it, and if you got big clumps, break it up, but you don't want to have a whole lot of big stuff in there. And then 1 part perlite. Now when you're measuring it out, as far as parts go, I'm just happening to use this old coffee can as a part. You can use a bucket. If you don't need a whole lot, you can use a little glass bowl. 1 part is whatever your measurement is, one of whatever unit you have. So now that we have that all in your container, let's mix it up before you add the water. Okay, now I got it all nice and mixed up. Got this all nice and mixed up for you. You want to make sure that you have it really mixed up well, so that when you add the water, you're not fighting with it as much. Then I make a little indentation in there, just like you're baking. I just kind of add the water. And you want the consistency of about like cottage cheese is what I've read. I like it almost like I think of it like a peanut butter or a bread dough, a dry bread dough. And I have used a hoe to mix this with. I've used shovels. I've even used a cement mixer. But when you're doing a fairly small quantity like this, I like to get my hands in there and feel it. You can kind of feel you get a feel for the moisture content. And I'm just scooping underneath there and just bringing it all on top. Maybe just a little more. Okay, now that I have it about where I want it, what I'm going to do is I am going to let it set for about 5 minutes. And this will let the peat moss and the Portland cement soak up the water and the perlite. I'm going to use, so I'll set that over here, a drywall trough. This is good at the hardware store for I don't know, $5 or so. A gold pan, a planter, and this here will go inside, but that's one of these planters filled with sand, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a minute. But I got it wrapped up in plastic. So let's start with this here. I want to make it about that tall. The reason being is I want 1 inch from the bottom, and then I want this to be able to be pulled out when I get